What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tony. Today we are going to be installing something a little bit more unique. They kind of went outside the box on what you would actually think, but I think there's a lot of positives to put this thing on your Jeep or your Gladiator or your JK. I think they even make them from Ram, and that is the Apex Air sway bar links. And I think these things are really cool. These things are really cool. It's kind of like a little shock absorber for your sway bar, and if you have a Rubicon, these things actually do protect your motor. So a lot of forces that are being applied into the motor, especially when you have a fully solid sway bar link, these things actually absorb a little bit of it, and you can actually adjust in how you want to feel it just by unscrewing the little air valve right here, and it just connects right into there, and you can go up to 300 psi. You do have to get yourself kind of like a little bicycle air up pump to actually pressurize these. You can't use a regular air system, but these things are pretty cool. So what I have on the Jeep right now is actually the JKS version. I think I got these on sale a while back, and I actually think these things are a little too tall, because you actually can see my sway bar is actually on a little bit of an angle. These things really need to be level to really, kind of help you out and get the best stabilization. We are going to be replacing these. I wasn't really going to do too much of an unboxing video because, just show you what everything comes with it. You get your two shocks basically, and then your hardware. That's literally everything. Oh, you do get a sticker and your instructions. I will say one thing: Apex does have, out of all theirs, they have some really nice instructions. We won't really be needing these. This is kind of like the air pump that I was talking about. It's just really little. You can get it on Amazon for like 20 bucks or so, give or take, and it just connects right into there. So it's super simple. It's basically just unbolting. You are using their hardware for the top part, and then you are reusing your factory bolt for the bottom part of your air link. So these things are super nice. Apex does make some incredible stuff, and I can't wait to see what it looks like get on the Jeep. One thing, it's kind of like factory a little bit. You do have an Allen key that needs to be slid in here, but I will say versus factory, because I'm not a big fan of the Allen keys, especially from the factory, is that the factory you only can get the Allen key in so far. This one actually goes in pretty deep into the shaft itself, or the little nut. So I do like that a lot better, because a lot of times on the factory ones, especially if they've been on the Jeep for a while, you do like round these things out because you don't have a lot of tension on these things, or a lot of, so the top part gets torqued down to 30 pounds and the bottom is down to about 50. So basically hand tight. And these things do not come preloaded with air. You can literally push these things down, so you have to get a bicycle pump. Unfortunately, the one that I have is actually broken, so I actually had to order up a new one, so we won't get that part until it shows up. So what's really nice about these is you can actually customize how you want it to ride. You can leave it at 0, you can go up to 300, you can put it at 200, 250, 100, 150, or whatever, 85 if you really want. So you can really dial in how you want the Jeep to really handle. So we'll kind of mess with it. We'll probably start with, we'll go up to like 50 pounds to see each time how they kind of how it reacts, all the way up to about 300. And I have these boxes here that still need to get installed onto the Jeep from Apex. This one is their boost kit, and this is their RAM system. Apex makes some incredible products, and they are proud of it. So you are getting your money's worth. So, and these ones aren't cheap, unlike the ones I have on there now. So let's just jump into it. First off, we have to disconnect these. this. So you guys can actually see the size difference here. They say this is good up to a 4.5 inch lift. You can actually see, if I kind of eye these things up a little bit, that this, or these two bolts right here, is a little bit, probably about like a 1/2 inch to an inch difference here. So that's why my sway bar is a little on an angle where you want it more level. So that's what you guys want to make sure when you guys get your lifts, making sure you have the proper size. And this shaft goes about 2 inches or so of dampening, so you're definitely gonna get yourself a nice smoother ride, where this one is one solid piece. Nothing wrong with these. This has been a good solid one, but I think the last time when I was in the Ozarks with my buddy and we were hitting some trails, I'm hearing a little banging. I believe it was this, especially when I was disconnected. This was a little too tall, so it was kind of hitting on a couple things. So that is why I'm currently replacing these. So when you guys are installing this into the Jeep, the fill nipple, or the fill for the air, is going to be facing the front of the vehicle. So what you're going to do is grab a washer, or a spacer, and then a washer. So what you're going to do is go washer, and then your spacer, and then you are going to use one nut and one washer from the other bag. Nothing too crazy hard. It's pretty simple. My one arm can do it. You guys can do it. So now that we have both sides on, because you want to do one side, just leave it loose, and then put the other side on. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So now we are going to tighten the nuts down, or the bolts. So the bottom one on both sides are going to get down to 50 foot-pounds, and the top part is going to get torqued down to 30 foot-pounds, basically hand tight. So I definitely wanted to talk about the benefits of the Apex AirLynx, and they look good. You know, downside is, yeah, you're having another mechanical thing you got to worry about, but they make some top quality stuff, and I'm not too worried about it. The nice thing is, like I said, you undo this little nipple right here, and it will give you all the adjustments you're able to. So I definitely want to talk about the benefits of it. So like I said, one of the benefits that comes with this is, yeah, if you don't have a Rubicon, it is going to give you a little bit more of an adjustment on road and off road, which is really nice to have, and that is really good. Really nice. One great benefit, especially if you have a Rubicon, is that you are increasing the lifespan of your sway bar motor by decreasing the stress that is put up and down on that motor. So this is like a little shock absorber for your motor, which is gonna save your motor in the long run. A lot of people end up just taking out the electrical one and making a manual by, I think it's Evo, that makes the air adjustment or the spin adjustment on it. A lot of people do that, but this is going to help your ride quality a lot better, especially when you're swaying. I know on Apex's website they actually said about 150 psi they found really nice and comfortable on the highway and on road, and at 0 psi when you're on the trail. So it is going to help you, going to have a little bit better on road ride and comfort, so that is nice. Yes, these aren't very cheap by any means, but I like them. Apex makes some nice stuff. So now we just have to wait for the Amazon guy to bring me my little pump that I end up ordering. So I guess we wait.
2,000 years later.
So unfortunately I lost my audio on this clip. All I'm saying is you can go to your local, bike shop or Amazon or regular kind of like a Meyer type kind of grocery store and get yourself a high pressure valve to air up your sway bar links. So it's pretty straightforward. Undo the cap, turn this on, you just pump. It's pretty straightforward. They recommend for on-road at 150 psi. I've actually been running these at about 200, and you can definitely tell it doesn't sway that much, and it doesn't take a lot to pump. And it's really simple with these pumps. If you want to adjust it, all you do is just hit the little knob and it deflates it. So now let's just pump it back up, give or take, and then that's all you do, just unscrew this and then you are all done. Apex has been around for quite a while, and they still make some of the top nicest things. Even their little cap is nice aluminum, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, these are just links, but if you have a Rubicon, if I can get this thing screwed on, there you go. If you have a Rubicon, like I said before, it saves your motor from being tugged around while you're driving and stuff like that. So because of this little shock when you are going side to side when you're doing a turn, these things help dampen that up a little bit. Yeah, they are pretty expensive for what they are, but definitely worth it, especially if you have a Rubicon. It's 110 degrees outside, and in the garage it's even a little hotter, so I took a shower, started editing, and I forgot to do an ending. So anyway, I definitely think these are a great upgrade to your Jeep. Apex makes, and I said it multiple times in the video, they make some amazing products, and you cannot go wrong with it. You can definitely tell that when you have them at zero, because I installed these with 0 PSI and I went and picked up my son, and you can definitely feel when you guys are taking a turn, it does sway a little bit more. Once you get it up to that 150 to 200 PSI, it almost goes away. Yeah, you can definitely tell, the weight of the vehicle swaying a little bit, but it definitely is manageable a lot better, and I'm very impressed with it. I'm gonna put a kind of a side right here of Apex's, how they work, because they do an amazing video on the rocks and just how it actually kind of articulates up and down. They do a good job. Awesome company. I fully support it. I mean, I still have the boost kit I need to install. Actually, this is the RAM system. I can't say how impressed I am even just by looking at this. And we still have the boost kit, which is coming in the next few videos. So we're gonna get those installed onto the Jeep. I'm really curious on how well the boost kit is. So we're gonna start with the boost kit and then go to the RAM system. So hopefully have that in the next week or so. Highly recommend them, but I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys for watching my videos, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.